live or almost live from Hamtramck, Michigan. Welcome to Soccer Night in Detroit. And yes, I'm here on the ground of the Hamtramck Festival for an action-packed weekend of fun, excitement, tunes, and all that. And yes, this is where the real music really happens. You can see the third man yellow truck. It's here. Jack White headlined the festival as a couple of guest spot with the Henchmen. Sunday night slowed, and tonight, while DCFC playing Be Your Own Pet will be playing. It's going to be a fun weekend. And so if you have time, please make it out on just a combo between Carpenter and Knapp. Well, the festival don't go near Knapp, but you know what the cross streets are. But it's not the reason why we are here. We're talking about Soccer Night in Detroit, and tonight, Detroit City is in a must-win game against Hartford Athletic, who's battling for the playoff spot. Detroit City FC hoping to bounce back from a bad loss last week against FC Tulsa 1-0, but as Matt Kaplan said, it was a mulligan because Indianapolis and Birmingham lost. So a win here tonight could have some separation between those two teams, get kind of close to Tampa Bay, who won and now have a 6-point lead over Detroit City FC for third place. All right, let's go to yours truly, BP Madcap, for the inside info for tonight's game between Hartford Athletics.
Thanks for the intro, Steve. Matt Cat here, coming to you pitch side from Keyworth Stadium as we get set for tonight's matchup between Detroit City FC and Hartford Athletic. Looking at the standings in the Eastern Conference playoff race as we get set for this one here. Detroit City FC holding on to that fourth spot in the Eastern Conference with 37 points, and Hartford sitting below the playoff line in 11th with a total of 28 points going into this matchup tonight. No atmosphere quite like Keyworth Stadium, as you know. Northern Guard supporters, bring the heat, bring the noise. However, it hasn't been quite the effect on the results in the league as you might expect. As you know, Detroit City has dropped points here in their last 7 games, dating back to June 15th when they defeated Charleston Battery by a score of 3-0. With LaRouge in contention for a top 4 finish for the first time since joining the championship in the 22 season, this Saturday's game against Hartford Athletic is as good as time for that to change. Since DCFC has joined the championship, they have posted a 17, 13, 16 record here at Keyworth Stadium. That's 17 wins, 16 draws, 13 losses, including going 4-4-4 this season after last Saturday's loss to SC Tulsa 1-0. It's the weird point is Detroit has one more on the road this year, and that's how we are sitting now in the 4th spot in the Eastern Conference. They have actually won more regular season games away from home, 18, since they joined the championship in 2022. They are in a good position to gain some points this weekend. Hartford coming in here is a side that is 1-1-9 away from Hartford Trinity Health Stadium. And they've won their last 3 games at home. However, on the road has been a different animal for the Hartford Athletic. So if Detroit were to win tonight, they have to take advantage and they have to score. They have to score. Because plainly, as you can see, Detroit City has not been putting the ball into the net. 3 goals in their last 7 appearances here at Keyworth Stadium. So it's pertinent for Detroit City to put the ball on the net tonight. Hartford has been among the worst road teams in the league this season, averaging conceding more than 2 goals per game on its travels. So, like I said, prime ripe for the taking tonight. And I've explained on the musings on Wednesday the struggles that Detroit City has had here. This is a good get-right game. However, when we traveled to Trinity Health Park earlier this year, it ended up being a 1-0 loss, early goal. Hartford pretty much shut everything down after that, despite Detroit's best efforts. So, going into this thing, you got to think Detroit's got to strike hard, strike first, strike early, whatever, to get the early advantage in this game, especially against a struggling team like Hartford that's on the road. Much bigger tester to come here for Detroit City SC, as the next opponent here at Keyworth Stadium will be September 14th. First place, New Mexico United from the Western Conference. And of course, Lou City comes in here September 22nd for Sunday afternoon till 3 p.m. right here at Keyworth Stadium. So let's look at the tail of the tape, as you would imagine here. The form for both teams here, let's start with that. Of course, Detroit City 2-2 or 2-1-2, or 2-2-1. I'm sorry, 2-2-1 in their last 5 attempts. The last loss, obviously, last week here against FC Tulsa. The form is deceiving for Hartford Athletic. However, 3 of those were at home. They lost on the road to New Mexico United, and they drew against Birmingham Legion. So, as you can look from the form right there, it's just been, hard times on the road for Hartford Athletic. Let's go quickly here to the head-to-head stats between the two teams. Previous matches, Detroit City has won 3 of those, drew 1, and lost 1 in the competition. So far in the championship this season, Detroit City 1.24 goals per match, 0.96 for Hartford Athletic. As you know, that coming because of their struggles on the road. Their goals conceded per match, 1.67, mostly on the road. 5 clean sheets on the year for Hartford Athletic. Their biggest win was against Pittsburgh Riverhounds, a 2-0 victory at Hart Health Stadium. Biggest loss came in Louisville, 6-0 loss to Lou City at Lynn Family Stadium. So, like I said, there you have it right there. I mean, the main goal is tonight, score as fast as you can. Get those. That way you can at least get an attempt to get those 3 points tonight and not drop points along the way. So, but this is only the, I wouldn't say the beginning, because we've been in a race to the playoffs, from here on out since July has started. A couple other big games to take a look at today. North Carolina FC is hosting Louisville, who also has had trouble on the road. In fact, they lost last week to Hartford Athletic, a 2-1 loss. Everyone associated with the club is feeling pretty hard done after that defeat. You had a couple red cards issued, one to the coach, Danny Cruz, and yeah, you could say they had a little bit to do with the refs, and they've been screaming about it all week long on various resources. For a team with this level of talent, you expect a response against North Carolina FC tonight. However, like I said, it's on the road. It may not be that easy. So picking up those 3 points may not be quite as simple as you think. Also, in the Eastern Conference, Indiana taking on Indy 11 taking on Pittsburgh. Indy 11 just losing to Sporting Kansas City on Tuesday night in a long night down in Kansas City as weather delays pushed that match. 2 first-half goals did them in the U.S. Open Cup match against Sporting KC. But this is a key 6-pointer for the Hounds, looking to maintain momentum after last week's win at Birmingham. But are we expecting to see the energy that Indy 11 came out with in the second half of that semifinal? However, didn't result on the scoreboard, thus they were eliminated from the competition. Loudoun United travels to, or hosts Phoenix tonight. Phoenix, a struggling team, of course, last year's champions in the USL Championship. With the playoff race starting to tighten, Loudoun United, you need to get back on winning form on home turf, where they've been very formidable over there. They're facing a Phoenix side that has gone without a goal in 4 consecutive games, and is desperate for a result. So this one could be a very entertaining matchup tonight. Rhode Island is hosting the Birmingham Legion. Rhode Island FC head coach Connell Smith got bragging rights over his mentor, Tommy Shane, when these two teams met at Protective Stadium. If RFC sweeps the series back on home turf, it will throw a monkey wrench into this playoff race. And then later on tonight, the Charleston Battery traveled down to San Antonio to take on the San Antonio FC. Their attack can take flight given the slightest opportunity, but San Antonio's defense has been stout at home despite the other challenges this side has faced. This should be a very tight contest tonight. Speaking of Charleston Battery, one Nick Marcanic has signed a European deal. Congratulations to him. He will be going to CD Castellon in, I believe that is La Liga 2. So 6-figure deal on the deal. And Marcanic will be staying with the Battery until the end of the season. So the transfer will take place after the season's over with. So good deal on both sides there. So Marcanic will still stay with the Battery. He's on pace to break the all-time USL Championship single season record held by Haji Berry and Cam Lancaster at 25 goals. He's sitting at 24 goals right now, and he's pretty sure to beat that total towards the end of the year in that tight race for the top 2 spots in the Eastern Conference and for the Players' Shield as well. So let's go over some of the match notes here. At the moment, as I mentioned, Detroit City is sitting in 4th place in the Eastern Conference, currently above the cut line for a home playoff spot by 2 points with Indy 11. They have a match in hand with us. So Le Rouge also 6 points above the playoff cut line. Hartford Athletic have won, trailing after halftime in the USL Championship for the first time since the 6th of August in 2023 against Mexico United, and that was last week's win against Lou City. Detroit, and I mentioned this earlier, 4-4-4 at Keyworth Stadium this year, and the Locomotive is 1-9. Their only win on the road, Hartford's, was on March 9th down in El Paso against the Locomotive. So bottom line here is tonight, you got to score, you got to get those points. 3 points are very crucial, especially where you're sitting right now in the table. We'll take a look at the table real quick here in USL Championship. Let's see here. As we're sitting in 4th, Indy 11's 2 points behind us in the 5th spot, 35 points. Also, Birmingham Legion with 35 points. Loudoun United sits at 34 points. They're within striking distance of the 4th spot. Rhode Island also at 34 points. So a lot of things could shake out by the end of this evening, shall we say. given the results of the evening. Pittsburgh is 3 points behind the 8th spot at 31 points. North Carolina FC, they can't reach the 8th spot as of yet. They're sitting at 30. And, of course, our opponents tonight, 28 points. Hartford, 11. Forget about Miami. They're done. So, needless to say, very important night here at Keyworth Stadium. So, we'll wrap things up here as of now. And we'll be back here later on for the after hours, post-match comments and whatnot. After the match here, we'll have scores and highlights. Well, we'll actually have scores, hopefully highlights of this game. And we'll do the scores, of course, back at the Hacienda where I have power again. Yay. After 4 days. Thank you, Consumers Energy. Anyway, I can say that because they are not a sponsor of Detroit City FC. Although you may have a little... some people may have some qualms with that sponsor after this week. But anywho, after hours, back from the or here at Keyworth, post-match thoughts, hopefully some highlights of the match as well. And maybe if there's good news tonight, maybe you get an interview or two or something like that. So stay tuned to us. Make sure you like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Like and follow over on TikTok. The outlets are going to be at the end of this video, as you know, but I'll say them right now. Motor City Mad Cat on Twitter. That is Soccer Night in Detroit. Also on YouTube, Soccer Night in Detroit on YouTube, and at Brett Peel on TikTok. So until after the match, we'll see you then, and keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the galaxy.